Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I think most of you know me. My name is Beth Reuter. I am one of the current co-directors of Omega Dance Company, and with me is Martha Chapman, one of the other current co-directors. One of the beautiful things I think about Omega Dance Company is that at almost every part of its history, there hasn't been a leader, there's been a leadership team. And I think that is the strength. You always have a team, because no one wants to dance alone, right? You all want to dance with others. So we're very grateful to be here dancing with others. I recently learned that here where we are at St. Ignatius is actually the very first place where there was a piece of dancing that later became Omega Dance Company. Our wonderful founder is sitting over here, Carla Sola, and she, was it with Dorita?
Yes,
Carla?
Dorita was here.
Dorita was also here, Dorita Day. They did a prayer group that was here at St. Ignatius about Thierry Chardin, and that later grew into Omega. So I did not know this until this evening, which is kind of amazing. But we are now on our ancestral grounds.
Yes.
We are dancing on sacred ground always, of course, because the whole world is sacred, but this is in particular our sacred ground. We are so grateful to St. Ignatius for having been a home for Omega, a consistent home for about 30 years of our history. We still have what we consider a full season here, dancing for most of the feast days, and so much of that is thanks to Father Dennis Sola, the current pastor. And so I just want to start maybe by thanking him for all his Tonight is really meant as a sharing and a celebration. You're going to see little bits of what Omega does. Some pieces of really iconic Omega repertoire, and a lot of dancers past and present and from afar. When Carla moved to California, she founded Omega West. And we have many of those dancers with us tonight as well. So this is a time to be together and to celebrate Carla and all she has meant to us and the company. We are going to begin by inviting Carla to join us in the front so that all Omega leaders past and present can help us get ready for our time together. I'm sorry, I'll say one more thing. You'll see in your program that there was supposed to be music, live music. Unfortunately, my husband, who's the music director, is very sick. So we don't have live music. So I just don't want anybody to be confused about that. He really wishes he could be here.
It's a thank you to everyone who helped put this on. I'm very. You can imagine, I'm 15 years. Thank you.
Oh, hidden light, vibrant in every atom. Oh, hidden light, shining in every creature. Oh, hidden love, embracing all in oneness. Let each one who feels himself as one with thee know that they are therefore one with every other.
I'll invite Carla back to the front to introduce our next speaker. Oh, along with David McCauley.
To these. This was first founded in Newman Hall, Owensboro Parish in Berkeley, California. And the music director there and the priest worked out together the length of the whole space. You'll see why. A special tablecloth. They figured that out. It has been a high point ever since the dance.
So just to give you a sense of that tablecloth, it is probably actually maybe just past that first this pillar down here and the pillar right here. And 3 dancers carry that. 2 on each end, 1 in the center, and it flies over the heads of the congregation. And inevitably elicits a gasp. We're always hoping, please don't stand.
Mentions to anyone, maybe it's time to ad lib this for me, that it came to me because of seeing a ceremony in the Jewish tradition of a sacred cloth. And I have not, I just didn't need to mention it. Didn't fucking know.
So without a Jew, Omega East and Omega West doing come to the feast.
I find this amazing to see. Normally they were bringing out the gifts and the bread and the wine, but they are improvising. Yes. I'm sure the bread they did it too, but the bread and the wine, I was sitting right now. And this was for this evening, and the purposes of this evening. I'm amazed. Thank you very, very much. There was especially condensed score from our company application spring that was made for this occasion. President of the old thing areas in San Francisco. Would say anything else, ready to move on accident on.
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Katie Weir. I have been dancing with Omega since 2006 and was on the leadership team several years ago for a few years. This is a piece humbly I adore thee, first choreographed for the 7 last words of Christ service here at St. Ignatius, which is a service that we have danced at for decades now, and it's my favorite, honestly. This is a piece about the power of prayer and the power of giving over whatever is in your heart to God. And what I love about the piece is that every time I rehearse it, every time I perform it, the choreography is the same, but I get to pray about something different. Our next dancer is someone who actually has never danced with Omega. As she has been saying this week we've spent together, her work is adjacent to Omega. She is part of the sacred dance family that we are all a part of. And she was a big inspiration to me as a 16-year-old when I went to LA Congress, a religious education conference in LA. And went to a workshop class on liturgical dance. I was already doing liturgical dance, but of a very vanilla variety, if you will, for the most part. And I saw Ms. Betsy Beckman doing a dance story. She danced the Good Samaritan, and it was something I had never seen. It really was, it's like a core liturgical dance memory for me, and something that I feel really inspired me to follow this through long term. So I'm thankful to Betsy. I'm thankful she's joined us this week, and I'd like to offer her a chance to speak about her piece.
Thank you so much. It's an incredible honor for me to be here in New York City with Carla and with Omega. It's my dream come true. I met Carla 45 years ago when I was in college. She was a pioneer opening the door, and I was following in that footstep, the wake of what Carla was creating the opportunity for. So we were always in different cities, but she continued to be the person that I would look ahead and say, oh, well, Carla's doing it, and I can follow. Now, this evening, I'd like to share a piece called the Prayer of St. Francis, a prayer that most of us are familiar with. It wasn't actually written by St. Francis, but it's a spirit, it's written in his spirit. And people continue to attribute to him because it's a prayer for peace, that we might all be instruments of peace. I kind of think of St. Francis as at least one of the patron saints of Omega, because so often Omega has been dancing on the feast of St. Francis, Canticle of Brother Sun. So I dedicate this piece to you today, Carla, and offer it as a prayer on behalf of all of us that we might be instruments of peace.
Where there is hatred, every soul. Where there is century pardon. Where there is story. Where there is love, where My family not so much seem to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love, to love. It's not to each other.
Can you hear me? There we go.
Yes.
My name is Vanity David. I'm one of the associate directors with Mega Dance Company. And the next piece that you will see is Betty Sante Spiritus. And the reason why it's so meaningful to me is because this was the first piece that I danced a solo to in this very same space. And it was about 15 years ago. And I remember feeling nervous. I was excited at the same time. And I remember just how welcoming Wallace Hall really was to me. And Mignon Gillen taught me this piece. And we rehearsed it, it's comfortable. And ever since that day, I knew it's family here. And thank you so much for welcoming all of us. So now you get to see this piece dance with not just me, not solo, but with a group of amazing, wonderful, special dancers. Enjoy.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ellen Regas, and I choreographed this piece in 2021, so as I mentioned for the World AIDS Day Mass here in San Ignatius. And for me, American Sign Language is part of my family's existence, and the language is a language of physical expression. And to me, liturgical dance is also a physical expression of my own faith. So this is my offering to the combination of those two worlds coming together. And I dedicate it tonight to all those naked dancers who are no longer with us.
Oh my.
Slow, take my hand. Step up. My just
Good evening. I'm Mignon. And in 2008, Becky, Katie and I danced this Alleluia for the farewell ceremony of our Omega studio and our Omega home at the Cathedral of St. John the Divine. And it was a magic moment where everything sort of came together. Music is by Roger Gillen, some of you know, and it was also in collaboration with Alfonso Sid. And we are using live recording tonight from 2008. And for 16 years, Carla has been asking to sing. So Carla, dance for you. from a lot of ways. We've been thinking about this week of 50th anniversary celebrations for the 50th anniversary of Omega Dance Company as a family reunion. So I felt like that was just a little family reunion we saw. Yeah. Started there.
With more of the dancers, to say goodbye to the Omega studio, that my husband built, you know, so he was in business.
Yes. And like any family, we have a history, and that history has different chapters. And one of the first chapters was at the Cathedral of St. John the Divine, in conjunction with being here at St. Ignatius. And each chapter has its sweetness and its sorrow. So it was definitely a moment of sorrow to say goodbye to that studio that was Carla's spouse Arthur built with his bare hands, basically. But when one door opens, or one door closes, I should say, another one always opens. And the next dance that we're going to show you is one of the most recent dances from Omega Dance Company. A lot of the things that you've seen this evening have a long history with the company, and that feels great because this is our 50th anniversary. But it's not the end, it's just the next chapter. So this dance is called The Hill We Climb, and it's named after the wonderful poem written by Amanda Gorman, recited for the inauguration of President Biden. And if you haven't been paying attention to the news, you might not have noticed, but there's some stuff going on out there. And part of the power of art is that hopefully art can speak to us to help us create the good in the world, to bring about the best what could be. We're never living in a perfect world, but we're trying to see the world as it could be. So this dance was choreographed collectively by all of the dancers, and we offer it to you tonight as a prayer for what could be.
Mr. President, Dr. Biden, Madam Vice President, Mr. Emma, Americans, and the world. When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? The loss we carry, a seed we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace. And the norms and notions of what just isn't always just is. And yet the dawn is ours before we knew it. Somehow we do it. Somehow we weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. We, the successors of a country in a time where a skinny Black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother can dream of becoming president, only to find herself reciting for love. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but that doesn't mean we are striving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge our union with purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man. And so we lift our gaze not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first. We must first put our differences aside. We lay down our arms. We reach out our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true. That even as we grieved, we grew, that even as we hurt, we hoped, that even as we tired, we tried, that we'll forever be tied together, victorious, Not because we will never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division. Scripture tells us to envision that everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. If we're to live up to our own time, then victory won't lie in the blade, but in all the bridges we've made. That is the promised way, the hill we climb, only we dare it, because being American is more than a pride we inherit. It's the past we step into and how we prepare it. We've seen the force that would shatter a nation rather than share it, would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy. And this effort very nearly succeeded. But while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated. In this truth, in this faith, we trust, for what we have our eyes on the future. History has its eyes on us. This is the era of just redemption. We feared it at its inception. We did not feel prepared to be the heirs of such a terrifying hour, but within it we found the power to author a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves. So, while once we asked, how could we possibly prevail over catastrophe? Now we assert, how could catastrophe possibly prevail over us? We will not march back to what was, but move to what shall be, a country that is bruised but whole, benevolent but bold, fierce and free. We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation, because we know our inaction and inertia will be the inheritance of the next generation, our millennials, and become their burdens. But one thing is certain: if we learn to mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright. So let us leave behind a country better than one we were left with every breath of my wrongs, pounding chest. We will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one. We will rise from the gold-limmed hills of the west. We will rise from the windswept northeast, where our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lake-rimmed cities of the Midwestern states. We will rise from the sun-baked south. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover in every known nook of our nation, in every corner called our country. Our people, diverse and beautiful, will emerge battered and beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade of flame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it. For there was always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it.
Bravo.
Before we move into our final piece of the evening, I want to offer some acknowledgements. First of all, once again, to Father Yesalona for his joyous welcome of Omega here at the church, including this evening. We are really so grateful. I want to say thank you to Jessica, Avatar in the back. Jessica is on board the Sacred Dance Guild, which of course is also such a huge part of the Omega family. I want to thank Paolo for inviting. I want to thank everyone who made this evening possible, most especially my parents. And our dear friends Pat and Jennifer, who also helped with the food. Thank you. To everyone who is here this week from out of town, Thank you for taking the time, the resources to be here with us to celebrate with Omega and honor Carla. Thank you. And of course, the Omega dancers and the entire Omega family. One more bit, Carla. I will be this. As a 501c3, we did not invite you to consider helping support Omega's mission of revealing the sacred through movement by offering a donation. Everything is tax deductible, small gifts, large gifts. There's a QR code in the back of your program. There are donation envelopes at the check-in table over there. We will take cash, we will take check. It's on the back of your program. Thank you very much. Carla, did you have something? Carla's going to introduce our final piece, but I see that maybe you have something else to say. No?
I haven't seen any before. That's why I want to do them. You know, I'm just looking at even all the sense of this continuity of feeling. I don't know how I can even express myself quite, you know, terribly, terribly thankful and grateful. And done at the particular St. John and Line, where Dean One, who was the dean when we were there, and worked with Paul Winter. Do you know Paul Winter? And the for the Earth Mass, it was called. Gosh, we need that today. The Earth Mass. How come this was so long ago that we were fueling the Earth and the sun and the moon and all of that, and they got together and had this dream of Paul Winter and his beautiful consort. And we did a dance, Canticle of Brother Sun. What do I have to say about it? Let me see. Let me say, well, it's an amazing piece that, of course, blesses all of the creatures of the earth and this Earth Mass. Most of you probably know there's a big elephant that comes through the cathedral. Did you all used to be? Oh, the elephant. Well, it was very special. Year after year, we saw a big flag, whole congregation back, yellow, you know, and all the teachers came down the aisle, we circled them and applauded them, and it was a tremendous evening. Anyway, the Omega Dance Group did had to go to Brother Sun, and I do great thanks to Paul Winter and his music for that. I know probably one thing.
There is a participatory part at the end of this piece, and Sandra Rivera is going to teach us the gestures for that. And then I'll just give you a heads up that when Brother Sun ends, you are all invited to continue the dance.
No.
No.
All right, I'll talk some.
No?
With a sense of praise, let's all stand up and practice. And bring both arms up. And you're going to your left, I'm going to the far right. You can feel the vastness of this space. Into the front. And the other one on birth comes out. And we bring our arms up, again, both arms up. And we hold on if we can to the person on either side of us. And we sway, like Carla used to say, like grains of wheat. And we bring our arms up again. Bow, we bring our heads to our chest. We bring our arms up again with a sense of praise. We bring them to our heart, to a prayer position. And at the word Son, we extend all our prayers out into the universe and to eternity. So when that moment comes, it's important for you to join us.
There were 5,000 people in the cathedral.
Did we bring the earth ball for the fun?
Thank you, everybody. On the end of the Easter, they thought, I think it's all in Holy Spirit Parish and Holy Parish. After we did, really coming to the tomb, we did the water dance, we did exit again, and we end with, water dance. Now, water dance is based on the sacred song. Now, I just give the history. Why did once it was taught by the Quakers at a Quaker center in Massachusetts over there. It's a gift to be simple, it's a gift to be great, it's a gift to come down where we want to be. When we find ourselves in a place just really, that way we go to the money. When truth, the blessing say.
To bow and to bend, we shan't be ashamed. To turn, 'twill be our delight, till by turning, we come round right.
We used to dance. When they came up to the altar in times, yes. So the dance didn't even know this. Shake out the evil one, I go with the shake your thing. And then the Lord of the dance group came out of that, so my whole congregation in a celebration at the end of the mass, at the end of the Easter vigil. And you go down the aisle, I push anyone, you can't do that. They come up and you all. So this, you should know that this music is from the Shaker inspiration, and the band is based on that. So those things come together. So, you are like a sun. You keep blooming. And, but flowers need things to drink, and people who danced need cake. So we have 50th anniversary cake, please stay and have some cake. And there's to-go bits and pieces because we had several people who weren't able to come, so there's lots of extra food. So please take food home or give it to someone on the way home, but don't let it go to waste because my mother would be very disappointed.
There's also some binders and like programs and photos over there, along with information about Sister Martha Ann Kirk's upcoming biography of Carla. So thank you once again. Yeah, sorry.
And I was just gonna say, we're recording tonight as a sort of ongoing love note for Carla that she can revisit. And so my laptop will be up there under Jesus in the quiet place where you can just drop by and say hello and share your name and share a word of gratitude or a memory or a thank you to Carla that she can carry with her from this place for the future.
Right. I am so inspired by what's going to be coming up. Each of the dances, every single one was unique and beautiful. And it's a real inspiration. I'm overwhelmed right now. And I go, and you are beautifully blossomed. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, everybody, keep on dancing.
So friends, a reminder that soon or already Sister Martha Ann's book about Carla and her life and legacy. Read it, watch it, inwardly digest it. And I'm just going to park the Zoom up here so that folks can say hi and share memories.
For anybody that would like to be in the picture with Carla, let's come up in front of the altar table. If you don't want to be in the picture, we respect that, but otherwise, wow.
And here, if you didn't get a chance to see it at the beginning, is tonight's program celebrating 50 years of Omega Liturgical Dance Company. Here were the pieces that we danced tonight. And as Becky said, support the arts in worship and dance in worship as you're able. Well, I'll start the salutations. I am Sylvia Miller-Mutia and Carla. I am so grateful to you. I met you in 2000 when I was a new student at Pacific School of Religion. My very first class there was community dance class with you. And I sat in the back stretching and weeping for relief that I had found a place where my intellectual and academic side and my artistic side and my spiritual side would all be nurtured simultaneously as an integrated whole. Dancing with you and with Omega West enabled me to embody my vocation as a priest even before I was ordained. The vocation of preaching and proclaiming the gospel, the vocation of finding my place in the pulpit and at the altar. And both praying and leading others in prayer, teaching. So your life and work are inextricably linked with my own vocation. And I am so, so grateful to you. Thank you, Carla. And I know if Donnell were here, he would remind you that he's an honorary member of Omega because he was the official ironer of the sleeves for the table setting dance, even before he was my husband. When he was just my boyfriend, auditioning, as it were, to be my husband, he ironed the sleeves, thereby earning his place in the Omega family. Dorita, would you like to give your greetings to Carla?
Gosh, Carla, I'm so moved to this whole evening. It was just beautiful and there are no words. It's like I saw this whole the sequence and the evolution of something wonderful that we started so long ago. And I'm glad we could all celebrate with you. I love you.
Is there a memory tonight that's just especially close to on the top of your heart?
Of all of the
Yeah, of your time.
Oh, well, I think Dancing the Earth Mass was extraordinary. That was magnificent for me, that and the images of the spirit. Because the spirit is who has been leading us, you and all of us in this whole journey.
I have to introduce you as helping me sound. Maybe we can.
Where I am.
Teresa and Sandra, will you give your greetings to Carla and share a memory that is close to your heart tonight?
Well, Carla, I remember, this is Teresa, and I remember when we first started and we were going to a church in Pennsylvania, Amish country, and I watched you courageously get up and encourage these people to start moving. And I'm like, oh my God, are they going to get up? Are they going to do what she says? And they did, and they always do. So thank you for your spirit, your inspiration, your gifts.
And Carla, I was almost going to do the introduction to brother son, but we decided it should be to you. But I was gonna say, ask and you shall receive. Because I remember when they first did the Earth Mass at the cathedral, there was no dance. And you went up to the Dean Morton and said, how could you have a celebration like this without having dance? And the Dean said, you're right. Give me a budget. And the next year and so forth. And after that, we did the Earth Mass. And you have been such a special and inspiring person to me, to my work, to me personally. And I love you.
Oh, yes.
Let's see. Janet, are you ready? Do you want to give a salutation or share a memory with Carla?
Is it on?
Carla.
The hurt that I'm broken.
Now I think of the very first
inward
day I came to New York back in 1987, and a friend of mine in Georgia had introduced me to you, and I came to the Earth Mass rehearsal on my very first night, and I'm so thankful
The beauty and also the
I did. It started
radicalness
something that changed my life, and I'm so grateful to you for everything. Thank you. Love you. Joanne, would you like to offer a greeting to Carla?
Okay, very. Hi, Carla. Hi, girl. You know I love you. And I'll sing for you whenever you want. Bye.
That's pretty good.
Hi, Carla. Thank you for just years and years of letting me dance. From when I was a little bitty baby thing of 22 or 23 to advanced middle age. It's just been a delight and a joy. Thank you, Carla.
I love it. Carla, hello. Thank you so much. This has been and continues to be such a joy. I'm so glad that you came into my life and that we have had so many fine adventures together. And I'm hoping for many, many more. Much love to you, my dear.
Would anyone in this cluster of humans like to give your greetings to Carla or share a memory?
Carla, it's Mignon. So many memories. Woman with the flow of blood. That was where it all started.
We're parishioners of St. Ignatius, Kevin, Simone, Nathaniel, and Ariel. And Ariel grew up with watching Omega, and now she's dancing with Omega. So,
It's so
awesome.
exciting.
Congratulations on all that you've done and establishing this wonderful dance company for us all to share for years to come.
It's so exciting to be a part of this company. I grew up watching, as my dad said, watching Omega, and it's just such a family and community, and I'm so lucky to be a part of it.
Thank you, Carla, for everything, for all the inspiration of these amazing dancers. We came to Omega through St. Ignatius here, and of course, Mignon. And knowing our daughters dancing with you is just amazing. Thank you for everything.
It was wonderful growing up in St. Ignatius with liturgical dance. Thanks for bringing it to us. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you all. Well, Claudia, it's your turn to give us greeting to Carla.
Oh, Carla, I just want to say thank you for being my mentor. Thank you for inspiring me to dance my heart and dance for the divine. And you've been my great teacher for spiritual dancing and to connect with my heart and to encourage me to keep moving in the world with dance in this way. So thank you, Carla. I love you.
Would either of you like to give a hello to Carla? Tribute.
Hi, Carla. This is Carla. Okay, what am I gonna say? I am so happy to dance with your choreographer. And I really enjoy dancing with Omega. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being the planet, of course. And I will miss you. Please come back to New York.
Nice.
Now it's Becky and Katie's turn.
Oh, hi, Carla. Oh, what a special week celebration this has been. And it was just so meaningful to have you witness this evening. And we've just now been chatting about what a mentor you have been to us from such a young age, and that we are the dancers we are today because of what you have taught us.
So we carry you with us every time we dance, and I am so grateful to know you, to continue to know you, and have you in my life, and that I get to dance with you. Thank you. Hi, Carla. I feel like you're sitting 5 feet behind me, but this has been such a special evening and such a special week. We have more to go. I have just been so suspicious.
Feel like.
Crying is okay. I cried.
My life would not be what it is without Omega. That means it wouldn't be what it is without you. So I am so grateful for the growth.
Thank you. All right.
That's very.
Martha.
He was stuck. We live right by.
Give your greeting to Carla.
I've given my greeting to Carla in person.
Okay.
We live in Windsor Terrace.
Kara, you want to leave a greeting for Carla?
Carla, I'm so happy that I could be here with you, and we are connected across oceans. So I send you my love, many thanks, lots of dancing, still years to come. Mwah.
Does anyone in this circle want to say a word to Carla?
It was lovely to meet you in person. Thank you so much. Thank you for your gift of dance.
Thank you so much for having us tonight.
Thank you all for hosting.
I opened the door.
To say your
Carla, thank you so much for your influence in my life. As I said, you opened the gates. I walked through after you. I'm still on the road and love you very much. Thank you.
Emily, do you want to say something?
I would be honored. Yes. I'm grateful for the gift of movement every day, but I'm especially grateful for the gift of marrying faith and movement. And that is what Omega brought to me when I first came into the first Earth Mass. And it has brought me such joy. Thank you for offering up your wisdom every time you came to the East Coast and taught us pieces. Thank you for being so receptive to new movement being brought into Omega. And I'm glad I've been able to offer that. And I wish you all the blessings in the world. And Omega will always be a part of my heart. Oh, I love it. Yes.
All right, worker bees, do you want to say a word to Carla before I log off? No.
Congratulations, Carla. Thank you for opening the door to dance and the grace for which you have lived your life. Bless you.
Oh, Vanity, did you want to say a hello to Carla?
Oh, hello, Carla. Thank you so much for all of your support and your inspiration. And because of you, Omega is in such a wonderful place and it continues to grow. So thank you so much for your love and your talent. Love you.
Well, Carla, this is just a little snippet, but I hope that it reminds you of the abundant ocean of grace and love and beauty that you put into the world and that you move in this river that is branching out in 1,000 directions. These seeds that you've sown over decades and decades that you don't even remember dropping, that are flowering and bearing fruit and growing and flourishing behind you. Thank you, friend.